Afsar, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
It's a real pleasure. So Afsar, I was thinking yesterday what was going to be my first question to you. And I think that's a burning question I've had over the years since I've known you. Why start Kick Advisory?
Interesting question. What happened was I felt from a business perspective that the market is demanding that there is a specialist firm. And I've done corporate finance for a large part of my career, but in a different environment. And I felt it is a compelling business case to be a specialist. And I feel the market rewards specialists, and I think the clients demand specialists. The reason being we are focused, we are committed, and it's a 24/7. We just think about making the deals and raise finance and focus on the clients, and we don't have any distractions to do other stuff. And I think that has been the main reason. And as you can see, Mauritius as an IFC is growing in stature, and we need different service providers, and we feel we are a small player into that industry, and if we can make a telling difference to other service providers like yourself as corporate lawyers, as with OMCs, we would add something to the value addition for the center.
Was it a hard decision leaving video though? Because you were number two for so long. I mean, I knew Afsar as the video guy. So was it a difficult decision, or was it for you just a natural next step in your career?
It was a natural next step because I was following my passion, following my heart. It was more a decision taken with the heart than with the head. But once you make the decision, I never look back. I mean, whatever I've done in life, I've never looked back. And you think about it, but once you decide to go for it, you give it 100% shot. You don't think what you're leaving behind. You just think about what's the future is going to be.
It's obviously you don't regret it at all.
It's a different experience. I mean, it's not like it's an evolution. And I think people evolve, and your thinking evolves. I like to go out of my comfort zone. I like to take challenges, and setting up Kick with my co-founder Pierre Juniaville was an exciting initiative. And so far we don't feel we are going to work. We just go and have quite a bit of fun every day. Yeah. And we have a great team as well.
And was it a hard, sort of a big culture shift going from a big corporate, a massive corporate, to suddenly you're a real entrepreneur?
It's not a shift, it's because we are dictating the pace, we are dictating the future. We feel confident what we are doing. With a lot of humility, I say this, we would like to create a Goldman Sachs, the Mauritian version, without the arrogance of Goldman Sachs.
Without the American bit.
And we would like to, we are very happy the way it has started. We are very grateful to the clients that have been supporting us from day one, and also very grateful to people who are not clients, but what I say, referrals, people who give us a call and recommending us. So we are very grateful to all those people who are helping us in the journey. We have a long way to go, it's only 2 years. But so far we are happy with the sort of clients we have brought in. It's looking pretty an enjoyable ride.
And would you say the key foundation of such a successful boutique business is the relationships? Would you say that's an accurate description?
Look, successful, I don't know, because it means different things to different people. I would say a key competitive advantage in corporate finance is your network. And it's something you need to keep building on. People do business with people, so you need to move from there. And many years ago I met the CEO of one of India's biggest outsourcing company. And at the time we were building ours. So I went to him and I said, what makes you so successful? He gave me his mobile, and at the time they were doing only outsourcing for banking. So he said, have a look, pick up any CEO you want from his mobile. And I was shocked to see all the big names were in there with their mobile, direct line, their home address. He had everything planned up. I mean, he said, get this and your business will take off. And I think that's true for any business today. People will buy from people. It's good to have a brand, but most of the work will come from the person people trust. The one who is committed, the one who is willing to go the extra mile to serve the client.
And you referred to Mauritius as an IFC earlier. Particularly in an environment post-COVID, do you think that our financial services market is stagnating?
I don't think that's a fair comment.
Okay.
I think financial services has played a big role over the years, and now it's going to play an even bigger role. I think financial services percentage of our GDP will probably double over the next 5 to 7 years. It's an industry where I see plenty of opportunities for different players. We still haven't gone up market in terms of value addition yet. For example, private banking, we've got the legislation now. We just need a couple of big brands to come. We haven't got them yet. We will, I'm sure, over the next few years. And the canvas is still empty. Because when we talk about financial services, we tend to think only about OMCs. But I think financial services is much bigger than this. We still have not gone the whole length in terms of asset management, private banking, corporate finance, investment banking. All these will come. Outsourcing is going well, but we need a lot more players. We have come a long way in terms of getting known. But now it's a question of going up the value chain and also giving more jobs to our youngsters so that they stop going to Luxembourg and Malta and all that, So
Yes.
We need to show to them that the future is here and the future is not in Europe. And I'm pretty confident that people will see as things progress, that Mauritius Financial Services is of substantial repute. Obviously, there will always be challenges, but we'll ride over it, and we have a lot of good professionals operating in Mauritius. I would say we have world-class professionals based in the legal profession and the OMCs. The only thing that is missing probably is a lack of hunger from a lot of entrepreneurs. I feel a lot of people I deal with are a little bit tired and they don't want to go the extra mile. But post-COVID, if you don't go the extra mile, that's the issue. We need a lot of entrepreneurs with a lot more hunger, a lot of fire in the belly to go to the next level.
How do we make that happen? As you said, we're doing everything by the book. We're now, satisfy all the 40 recommendations of the FATF. We're not on any blacklist or grey list anymore. We've got all the legislation in place, but still people are leaving. As you said, I think I agree with you. There's that sort of hunger and drive lacking. What more can we do?
You see, it depends. How do we define we? Okay, I think government has done what government does best, putting the regulatory framework, having regulators that understands business. We have been through the blacklist and government has made a lot of efforts to get us out of it, and they have done what they have to do. But to get business back into Mauritius, it's up to us. We are the operators in the financial services. We should go out and do what we have to do. It's a question of, do you want to grow our business or not? We can't expect government to tell us to grow our business. You have to go out and do it yourself. That's why I'm saying we need a lot more entrepreneurs who have a bit more hunger. And if we open up a little bit more, like the financial services is opening, we will gradually get a lot of foreign investors coming into Mauritius to operate in the financial services. Once we get this going, there will be a change in culture, there will be a change in approach. Because right now a lot of people have done well. Let's face it, over the last 20 years, they are very comfortable, and even if they do nothing, their business is growing.
Money makes money.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's not good enough for the country. We need people who got a bit of guts, a bit more daring, and get on the plane and make things happen. Years ago, you'd go to an airport like Nairobi or Joburg, you'd meet a lot of Mauritians. These have gone down lately, but we need to get back on the plane, get back into the markets. Yes, the world is changing, like India was a cash cow for many years. This has changed, but India can still be a cash cow in a different way. But we just need to change our focus, we need to change our mindset, and we need to rethink some of the business models we have. And they are talents, they are good talents. Unfortunately, we have lost some of them, but we have lost some of them because people are managing talents again using the old model. You need today to be different in the approach. We need to retain talents, and the only way to retain talents is to pay them well, give them a good participation, give them a sane management, makes it more fun to work. I think we are probably making a mistake with these hybrid models of working from home. I think this is going to harm us in the long term because people lose contact, and we need to do a bit more to look after our talent.
So you think, just coming back to that, because I've asked that, obviously different guests have different answers. So do you believe it's the wrong decision to let people essentially work from home?
Well, it's definitely a wrong decision. Like I said to you, we want KIC to be the Goldman Sachs of Mauritius. Goldman Sachs was one of the first firms to say, no come working back. From home, come back. I think Goldman know what Goldman does best, okay? And Goldman Sachs is saying home is not the right place to work. I think we should listen to them. And the other issue is work from home is very much a Western culture. We have to look at the condition under which our employees are living. And if you are a family of 4, you won't have 4 working rooms in the house. So how do you expect one son working for one firm of accountant, the daughter working for another, or sitting at home doing an audit? If people are comfortable that this is the right way, fine, that's the choice to make. But unless there is a team spirit, unless there is a family spirit for people to enjoy the workplace, there is no way there's going to be loyalty. If you work from home, your loyalty will be to your laptop. And that's it. And there is no emotional connection, and don't be surprised when people leave to go for Luxembourg, because it's the same lifestyle that they're doing at home here that they will do in Luxembourg for a bit more money, but not the same quality of life. But that's what happened. But if people feel connected, you will not leave. Today we have lost a lot of people, and I think we have lost it because of bad managers. We have lost it because of bad employers, and we have lost people because we haven't been able to convince them that Mauritius has got a better future for them. Unless we get back to a bit more nationalistic about our future, we will continue to lose talents.
So do you think that, because other guests have said before that the reason why people are leaving in droves is the world has opened up again because of the great resignation in those countries, it means more opportunities for Mauritians. So are you saying that if they had good managers and they were offered on a plate a job in Luxembourg for a 23-year-old being offered 5,000 euros a month, he would still turn it down if he had the right nurturing environment here?
I'll tell you what. If you go to Luxembourg, to be able to have a good savings, you need to stay 4 or 5 in a house.
Yes, I know that actually.
Right?
Yes.
So to choose that quality of life, you must be desperate. Okay? If someone has not got a chance to work overseas, doing it for a short period of time makes sense. If someone has already done some work overseas or has gone to study abroad, has been lucky enough to do that, then you won't go into that lifestyle. But today, with all the international firms operating in Mauritius, nothing stopped them from having a secondment program of sending people abroad for 6 months, 9 months, get that culture, learn from it. I mean, if you work in a British firm, you will develop a certain culture which will help you become a better professional. But if you're going to go and work for a British firm and then you're going to work at home, this won't happen. So you can take people off and bring people into those environments, give them that international flavor. And then the person will feel committed, valued, and not just a file number. I think we have a certain culture in Mauritius which has made Mauritius successful over the years as a nation, as a welcoming tourist destination. Why can't we do it in financial services? Clients come to us because we do go the extra mile. Why can't we go the extra mile for the employees?
Okay, so let me unpack that, or try to at least. So understand for young professional in their 20s, your argument kind of makes sense. As you're going up the ladder and you're kind of starting to earn more money, do you think a middle to high earning professional would be attracted to staying here despite the rising cost of living and taxes, rather than saying, well, actually, I could earn much more money in London, pay slightly more taxes and have all the infrastructure, the NHS, the education and all of that?
If you're looking at people who are that mid-level, it's not likely that they're going to get a top job in the UK.
True.
Okay, so you will be mid-level in the UK, and then running after the tube, running after the bus, and have the dog running after you. It won't work. Okay, it's not the quality of life, unless things are really bad here. But what's happening here is that people who are not sharing enough with the employees, the promotions, the employee evaluations, lack of transparency, not giving them a fair chance. We can't keep exploiting people on cheap labor. This model is outdated. We can't. We need to give people more. But here, a lot of people are taking a lot more instead of giving more. If we start giving more, we would not be in the situation we are in today.
So do you then mean the top management and all the shareholders earning less money or having a smaller margin, or do you mean we need to increase the prices?
No, what I need is I need to distribute a lot more.
Right, okay.
I'm not saying, that's a competitive decision about pricing. We can't enter into it. But what I'm saying is there's enough to distribute more than, taking all the money in terms of dividend or even management fees transferred abroad. So there's a lot more to give to people.
I can relate to that. And talking again about the young talent and trying to nurture and retain them, I've heard you say before that we don't recognize often enough the value of sponsors. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we were in a similar discussion where I said there's importance to have sponsors. A sponsor is not a mentor. See, what happens is on the workplace, everybody's, let's say, have the same qualifications, everybody has got the same expertise, but the one that goes right to the top is the one that has got the better exposure. So somebody needs to make that call for you to get the best exposure. I have been lucky. I've worked in various organizations where I've had very good CEOs who have given me the opportunities. And I'm grateful to all of them that I've come across who have given me these opportunities. So they are my sponsors because, for example, if you're working in a professional service firm, there's a big assignment coming. If you're entrusted with that and you deliver, you have got the right exposure, you have won the trust of people, you have shown your mettle, and you have delivered. And that you can't put a value on it, that's not your call. And even today, when you are in a leadership position, you got a difficult job. You have to choose a member of the team to work with you. You will choose the one you think is the best. And by giving him this opportunity to work with you, you're also sponsoring him for his expertise, get that exposure, so that tomorrow when he comes for a C-suite interview, he has the right exposure. So having the sponsor on the job is very important, somebody who can trust you, someone high up in the organization who will give you the right exposure.
How do you go about it as a young professional? Do you just do the best work that you can, knowing that sometimes, you've worked in hierarchical environments before where sometimes your manager would take the credit for the work you've done. So how do you make sure that you do get the right sponsorship that you do deserve?
You see, it's unfortunate if you look at various books on leadership, they all tell you how to manage downwards, how to manage the team. Nobody tells you how to manage upwards.
Exactly. Yes.
And when I have time one day, I'll write on it. But it's a very challenging one. But you need to know that you got one boss at the end of the day. Okay? And don't expect him to manage you. You got to learn to manage him. I think that's the key. You don't go around and do things the way you want, and you got to manage him as well. And the trust will build up. If he takes credit the first time of your work, he would not be doing it the second time. So even if you don't get credit the first time, fine, let go. You're here for a long-term relationship. Second time, you will get the credit. And if you keep doing what you are doing and doing it right, the recognition will come automatically. It's like you're playing football. You keep scoring, you will get noticed. The guy who passed the ball to you doesn't get noticed the second time, the third time.
Yes.
That's what you need to do.
Okay. And in terms of, obviously you run your boutique firm, in terms of what you look for in young talent, what would you say are the 3 top character traits or skills that you look for?
Attitude, attitude and attitude.
Okay.
Nothing else. Because when you recruit people, they will all come with
Great CVs, yeah.
we have seen it all. But at the end of the day is how much commitment he has towards you, how committed he is to the job he's going to be doing. Is he going to watch the clock, or is he going to be there when the chips are down? That's what you need to look for. There's a nice story about, again, Goldman Sachs. I keep coming to that because I think they are
The gold standard.
the gold standards, as you rightly said. They were doing an interview for recruitment to a particular position. I think they had 20 candidates. The partner in charge got everybody in the office at the same time at 9:30. And everybody was shocked because usually everybody has got a 15-minute slot. So he brought everybody at 9:30. He did not see them until 5:30. And no one knew what was going on.
They were just waiting in the
Just waiting
reception.
in the reception. At 5:30 he opened his door. There was one girl waiting, and he said, "Fine, the job is yours. I just wanted to see who badly wants to work for me."
Wow. I hope you're not like that with your
I've tried it.
No one was left at the end of the day. I think that's what I struggle the most with. That, you know, we've spoken about the Gen Z quite a lot on the previous series about, you know, their expectations are different, obviously for the reasons that we've explained as well in terms of compensation. But on the other hand, the other side of the coin is, do you think their commitment has diminished in the sense that they have other priorities now, which in our days, well, I'm sounding old, but in our days that didn't exist. When I did my training contract, it was normal to do all-nighters.
You know, our training contract was slavery.
Yes.
Okay, we had very hard taskmaster. It was task driven. But today the younger generations is looking for something more. I mean, I won't say they're looking for a kick, basically.
Hence the
Hence it. They want to come to a place where they feel valued. People who are leading them are inspiring. They are technically good. They feel they can learn. The place is fun. It's not like you turn up at 9 o'clock, why are you late? When you're here after 6, nobody says, why are you staying back?
Exactly.
Do you provide decent meal for them when they're working late? Do you care for them? If you feel his staff isn't well, you tell him, why don't you just take a day off, go home? Oh, by the way, just mark one sick leave on your card when you go. You know, these things don't exist anymore. If you're still practicing those way of recruiting, way of managing, it's outdated. And you need to know them, you need to be on first name terms, you need to know what makes them work, the environment they come from, their family life, how they handle things at home. All this is part and parcel. You need to be firm, but you need to be caring as well. Firm in the sense there is no compromise on quality of deliverables, no compromise on client service, no compromise in not taking clients' call, not compromise in not going to clients' premises. But other things, you need to be a little bit more relaxed and chill and make it an enjoyable place, make it a fun place. And I find people trying to model what they have gone through when they become managers. Oh, this is how I was treated, this is how I'm going to treat them. I mean, it has been 20, 25 years in between since the way you were treated like this. The world has changed.
Strange, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
In the UK, in 1 week, you got 2 prime ministers, a king and a queen. And I mean, this is how fast the world is changing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're still stuck with the old ways. It doesn't work. And unfortunately, people are bringing the same old style of management in today's environment.
To come back full circle as we lead into our last question, and I think the title of this podcast is What's Next for Mauritius? How would you summarize what is next for Mauritius?
Like I said to you, Mauritius will continue to emerge as a financial services sector. And I think there's a lot of things going. I think COVID has put Mauritius on the map in a lot of ways.
In positive ways?
In positive ways. Okay, you know, when you are inside Mauritius, there's a lot of noise. Especially we are all passionate, rightly or wrongly, about politics. There's a lot of noise which cloud our judgment. If you take away that political noise and you look objectively, there are a lot of things going well. Financial services work during COVID. During lockdown, we were incorporating companies. Regulators work. So it was not like we did not go down to ground zero. Post-COVID, with what's happening in Europe, the trade war with China, the textile is finding a new lease of life, right? There's a lot of orders. I think the buyers want smaller orders, so they're coming to Mauritius. Problem with China, all this is happening. In the sugar sector, we look at the price we are getting for sugar has never been so good, right? Tourism, unfortunately, went down to zero, literally locked down. It's coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, hotels are full at the moment. Yeah.
The other day, Jocelyn Kworkov, Arim mentioned we need more flights. I mean, all these are positive stuff. I mean, if you stick to the facts and you look at the results which are being published in the stock exchange, you only see good results, you only see positive stuff. Things are on the way up, except there's a slight difference post-COVID. In the old days, when things were going well, you got a wave, everybody goes up with the wave. The big boat, the small boats, everybody goes up. Post-COVID, things are going to be different. And this is where Mauritius needs to be realistic. This time around, you're going to have winners and you're going to have losers. We never had losers before. Now we are going to have losers because things have changed. It will only favor those who are brave, those who got strong leadership, strong management, efficient, and have a good team. In the same industry, you will have profitable companies and you will get laggards. This will happen across the board. And we should not panic when one business fails, because at the same time there will be others that are emerging. COVID has also created a lot of disruptions. And some of these disruptions are going to accelerate. If you add changes in technology, things are going to change even more and even faster. It's up to the local entrepreneurs to show the metal they are made up with. If they are not careful, they will fall behind. On one hand, some are brave, are looking outside Mauritius. Others are content to look at just the local market, but there's only so much you can do locally, and we just need to evolve and go forward. But things are not going to be like it was before. Your experience, whatever you have learned before, will only help you in managing the crisis. But if you have been doing things a certain way before and you try to repeat it, you're doomed to fail. The market has changed completely. Like you said, even people buying habits have changed. And if you're still with selling the old stuff, you're gone very quickly. But just be prepared. This time around, there are going to be winners and losers.
On those words, thank you so much, Afsar. I've learned a lot of stuff actually. I've got to write down some of the stats that you gave. Thank you for your time, and hope to see you again sometime soon.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.